Audio ducking is a voiceover feature which enables you to hear voiceover speech more clearly when other audio is playing at the same time, because it lowers or ducks the background or other audio that is playing when voiceover starts speaking. That other audio may be a music track, a movie, nature sounds, internet radio, literally whatever you may be playing in the form of audio or video content at the same time that you are using voiceover. So let's take a look at the effect of this setting and where you can enable it, because there are several places. You can enable it globally, you can enable it in the rotor for quick toggling, you can also set it as part of an activity, and you can also enable or disable it in VoiceOver quick settings. I now have audio ducking off, and we're going to hear the effect when I use VoiceOver while this audio track is playing. I'm using in Nature Space a track called Avian Dawn, and so you will hear the reference to playing of that. I am now in Nature Space.
Toolbar, play Avian Dawn button.
And I'm going to double tap here on this button to start playing the track.
Catalog, back button.
And as you can hear, VoiceOver by itself said back button, but if I flick to the right,
Avian Dawn, heading, read reviews for Avian Dawn button. Avian Dawn.
and I just stopped that with the magic tap, the 2-finger double tap. As you could hear, the audio sound of that nature track, the volume of it was not changing. So it was coming in at the same volume as VoiceOver. Something like that isn't too difficult to work with if audio ducking is off and you're hearing VoiceOver. But if it was some kind of louder piece of music or video, depending on the type of audio that it is, you may find that VoiceOver speech is quite difficult to hear over the other audio if the volume of the background audio stays the same. And so we have audio ducking. I'm going to enable that now to show you the difference, and then we will explore where the different settings are that you can adjust this audio ducking setting. I've now enabled audio ducking, and we're going to play that track again and hear the difference with the audio volume when VoiceOver is speaking.
Toolbar, play Avian Dawn button, stop Avian Dawn. Catalog, back button. Avian Dawn, heading.
I'm just flicking to the right.
Read reviews for Avian Dawn button.
You heard the volume of the nature track go down when VoiceOver was speaking and then come back up.
Avian Dawn. Ducks, geese, runes.
And I stopped the description reading with the control key, and then I just stopped the track again with the magic tap. But as you heard there, the audio ducking was very clearly enabled. The audio of the nature sound kept being lowered when VoiceOver was reading out some content. And so where can you adjust this audio ducking setting? If we switch into the settings app and go into accessibility and then VoiceOver.
VoiceOver, switch button, on.
Within the VoiceOver settings screen, we're going to go to audio.
Audio, button.
We'll double tap.
VoiceOver sounds and haptics, button.
And flick to the right a couple of times.
Audio ducking, switch button, on.
And here is the setting where we can globally determine the default setting for audio ducking. This is a switch button, so you would toggle it with a double tap with one finger. a double tap would enable it. If it was disabled, and another double tap would disable it. So if I double tapped now, the setting would be disabled since, as you heard, it is currently on. And we will leave it on. So that is the global setting, the default setting throughout your voiceover use experience. But what if you wanted to quickly adjust this setting, whether for a certain task or just in general, to have that option to adjust it more quickly? There are several places where you can make such quick adjustments. First, you can add audio ducking to your voiceover rotor.
VoiceOver, back button.
So if we back out of the audio screen,
Audio, button.
flick to the right several times until we reach the rotor item in voiceover settings.
Rotor, button.
Double tap,
Rotor items, button.
and then double tap on this rotor items button on which we land, and then flick to the right several times until we reach
Audio ducking. Actions available.
There's an audio ducking item in the rotor, which of course you can reorder using its reorder button to the right. You treat this as any other item in this rotor items screen. And if you were to double tap here,
Selected. Audio ducking.
audio ducking would now be in your rotor, so that when you needed to adjust the setting, you could very quickly do so on the fly by moving to it in your rotor and flicking up and down to toggle its setting. You can also adjust audio ducking in the VoiceOver quick settings screen, which you can reach with a 4-finger double tap.
VoiceOver settings. Heading.
You can either search for the setting here, but because it begins with an A and the settings are alphabetical, it is pretty close to the top, so I will just flick to the right a few times until I reach.
Audio ducking. Switch button. On.
And again, a double tap will toggle the status of this switch button. Finally, you can set audio ducking in a certain way for a specific activity or a collection of settings that you can set to be enabled either automatically in a specific context or to be triggered using the activities item on the rotor. We'll take a look at an activity to show you quickly where that setting is located.
Activities button.
I'm going to double tap on activities, and then I'm going to open one of my activities by double tapping on it, and we'll flick to the right.
Uncontracted Braille button. Select Activities, back button.
And we'll flick to the right several times.
Audio ducking, default button.
This audio ducking setting is determining what happens. You hear that it is a button in this case, and by default, it's saying default, which means it's going to respect that audio ducking global setting that we set in VoiceOver settings and the audio screen of VoiceOver settings. If we double tap on this audio ducking button,
Selected, default.
we can choose whether the setting will be the default, which is what is currently selected. We'll flick to the right
On,
and flick to the right.
off.
And we can double tap to select any of these items. So the audio ducking can respect the global setting, or you can separately set it for this particular activity to be on or off as you may require. And that is a brief overview of audio ducking.